Okay, welcome to Chamber Chat. I am Janet Werner, Executive Director of the Jefferson Chamber of Commerce, and today we will be chatting with three of our chamber members. And our first segment today will be with Bert Wedel of Wedls Hamburger Stand and Ice Cream Parlor. Welcome, Bert.
Hi, Janet.
How are you?
Good.
Nervous?
A little bit, not too bad.
We were very nervous the first time we did these chamber chats, but I think it gets easier as we go along.
Yeah.
Your parents purchased Wedls, the hamburger stand, in 2007. There definitely is a lot of history there, known for your hamburgers, of course, and with that also came the addition of other items for your menu. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
I guess if you go back, the biggest one was, we didn't do it, but back when it was Armstrong's, they had ice cream. And that's one big part that took on quite a bit, and it had a good balance to the whole menu and that. But we've added several side orders, like onion rings, mozzarella sticks, cheese nuggets. And just recently, we just started making our own, like, barbecue pork and hot beef and sandwiches and that. So, but as a whole, we're just trying to keep everything homemade and fresh, and local and that. So it's, going to a chain restaurant where they just bring in food. We're actually making it in-house and everything. So
it's always good to hear when it's homemade. I think that's a big plus. I'm sure there's got to be a secret recipe for the hamburgers, and I'm sure we're not going to ever know what that is.
Nope. The only people that know right now are my dad and me and Howie Becker, but he's passed on, so we don't. It's a well-kept secret. I
know we were chatting before we started this chat that you were coming up with some neat ideas for some T-shirts. You want to share those?
One we had is Not Even Victoria Knows Our Secret. That was a T-shirt we came up with. And then just recently, earlier this spring, we had a presidential candidate, Rick Santorum, there. And so we came up with one after he left. Not even the Secret Service could find our secret recipe. So just a little play on it, so it was kind of neat.
It sure is. How many flavors of ice cream do you have?
We have a total of 9, and then we fluctuate with 1 or 2 of them. So,
well, talking about Rick Santorum, you certainly have had some interesting happenings at the hamburger stand.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that experience.
It was, I believe it was back in April. We had Rick Santorum there, and it was just out of the blue. His campaign manager contacted us and asked if they could stop, and it was. I didn't realize how big it was going to be. We actually even had the Secret Service come in, and we had to, we had probably about 150, 200 people there. And so it was, and I got to actually talk to him personally, and it was an interesting guy, and even though I might, support him or whatever, it was just a great experience to see him in this town and at my business. It's just interesting. He could have been a president, and he was in Jefferson, so it was just very interesting, eye-opening.
Well, it certainly was, and I think it was just a great experience for Jefferson as a whole. Mm-hmm. Talk about Secret Service. There were a lot of Secret Service people around, and I happened to talk with one of them after, I think actually Rick Santorum was in the building at that point, and I said to him, how did it come about that you came to Jefferson, that Jefferson was picked? And and of course I didn't get an answer for that either, because they just said, well, he said I wasn't on that committee.
Yeah, it was
so
the stuff they have to go through, and this is just for a presidential candidate. I was blown away what they had to know, and I said I just couldn't even imagine if it was a president. It would just be unreal. So.
Well, and I think you shared at our chamber board meeting, about all the checks that they had to do on your employees and everything before coming here.
Yeah.
So, but there again, definitely put Jefferson on the map. So that's pretty awesome. then secondly, you have another big thing coming up, Burgerland. Do you want to share that with us?
We had, last year we had a film crew come through from the Travel Channel. It's called Burgerland. It's about, the host is George Motz. He wrote a book called Hamburger America that we were in, and he's making that book into a TV show series. So he picked Wisconsin and then us as the first episode, the pilot episode. And then they came last year and filmed it. So we, as of last month, he contacted us and said it's going to be airing September 2nd. So on the Travel Channel at 6 p.m. So it's his top 100 burger joints in the nation.
Are you going to be open during the winter this year?
No, we will not.
Okay.
No.
Okay. You weren't last year either,
No.
correct? So what's going to be the final day?
We're looking at November 4th.
Okay.
So give or take, depending on the weather, you know, if it's.
With that being the last day, I know a couple of years ago already thought, oh, we'll come and get hamburgers. I advise you not to wait till the last day.
While supplies last on that day.
But it was just, there was a huge line. I mean, it's just like in the spring when you open up. I mean, there's always, you know, a huge crowd of people waiting there to get hamburgers.
There was a guy up there last year that we ran out of buns, but we had enough meat, and he says, I got buns at home. He just fried up burgers for him, and he took them. So it's, I mean,
that's pretty awesome.
They still take them, so.
So if anybody does not know where Wedls is located, they are at 200 East Racine Street on the corner of East Racine and Center Street. You can also call your order in, and the phone number is?
920-674-3637.
Thank you, Bert, for joining me with Chamber Chat today. That concludes this segment, and we will be back after these announcements.
Hello, I'm Dale Opperman, Mayor of the City of Jefferson. With me are Alderman Bill Brandel. He's the chairperson of the Jefferson Redevelopment Authority, and Tim Freitag, our city administrator and the executive director of the Jefferson Redevelopment Authority. The three of us are the main point of contact for all economic development activity in the city of Jefferson.
The Jefferson Redevelopment Authority was created in 2007 to assist the city with economic development and to foster business success. The Redevelopment Authority is composed of 7 members, 5 citizen or business members, and 2 alderperson representatives. The city administrator serves as the executive director of the authority. The Redevelopment Authority assumes a leading role when it comes to business relocation, business expansion, and business retention. It's also involved in revitalizing the Rock and Crawfish River waterfronts, as well as the community's historic central business district. The RDA has developed a number of programs to further and enhance the economic vitality and progress of the community. With the assistance of the Jefferson Chamber of Commerce and the Jefferson County Economic Development Consortium, the RDA plays a pivotal role in the community's business expansion and economic well-being.
Today, over 300 businesses employing 4,000 people are located in the city of Jefferson. Jefferson is home to everything from small family-owned and operated businesses to large international companies. This diversity provides an ideal variety that strengthens its robust industrial and commercial base. Additionally, both new and old are fused together here, as some of Jefferson's earliest industrial and manufacturing companies are still in operation today. Under various names, Tyson, established in 1879, and Nestle Purina Pet Care, established in 1910, are among the city's oldest operating businesses. A dedicated trained workforce, a strategic location near major arterial highways and access to railroad, plus a strong, diverse economic foundation characterized by commercial, industrial, and agricultural businesses have all made Jefferson a distinct site for business relocation and expansion.
The diversity of our business base provides a strong foundation for the quality of life which we enjoy in Jefferson.
Welcome back to Chamber Chat. For our second segment today, we have Gary Thompson of Thompson Company. Welcome, Gary.
Thank you, Janet, for inviting me.
You are very welcome. Gary is a certified public accountant and has been in business since.
I've owned Thompson Company on my own since October of 2001. Prior to that, I was with Groban Associates CPA firm. I was a partner in there, and I graduated in 1989 and started my accounting career in Milwaukee in 1989. So I've been doing this for 23 years now.
Has it been a long 23 years?
There's been a lot of long January, February, March, and Aprils, yes. But it's interesting in the number of people that you get to meet and the experiences that you grasp when you meet with different clients, whether they're individuals or businesses. So it's been a fun 23 years.
Oh, I'm sure it is. You certainly do get to meet a lot of people, and you certainly help a lot of people with doing taxes. As an accountant, what are the major issues to point out to a client when doing their taxes?
Well, if it's an individual client, a lot of the things is how much income do they have, how can they keep as much money in their pocket as possible, and what strategies can they employ to reduce their tax liability and yet become more fiscally sound themselves. And one of the things that I do when I meet with clients for their income taxes, I tell them it's not about preparing the income tax return, because a lot of people can prepare an income tax return. For me, it's all about the individual getting to know what their goals are and how we as a team can meet their goals.
And I'm sure that varies with each client and whatever the business is that they happen to have, or whether they're just an individual that comes to have their taxes done by you.
Yes, it does, and it varies, you know. And what's rewarding for me is always being able to help anybody. I have many clients that may make only $40,000 or $50,000, and they're just relieved that we're able to file the tax return, get it completed, and they know that it's electronically filed with the IRS in the state of Wisconsin. We get a confirmation that says it's been filed, and they're happy that it's been completed correctly, as well as an understanding that they have of what their tax liability and everything is. And knowing that they're paying as little in taxes as is possible. I can always recommend to people to contribute the maximum to your retirement plan. Well, that's great, except if you need money to live, it's kind of hard to contribute all you can to your retirement plan and save for the future. However, what we do at Thompson Company is I strive to make it so you understand what taxes are about so that you can make the best decisions that you can for yourself. And one of the things we do is we ask you what your goals are. So everyone's a little different.
And I'm sure there is a lot of different goals for everyone. So how do you exactly go about helping them plan for the future then?
Well, I encourage to have an actual face-to-face interview with me. And what we do is, as I'm preparing their income tax return, I'm able to ask them questions about their life, where they're at, do they want to have kids, maybe their kids are graduating from high school and they're wondering how do we pay for college. And so it comes through just being a personal interview as I give to each of my clients, and then I have a very good memory and note system where I'm able to go and remember that your son or daughter is going to be graduating in 2 years. Have you set money aside for college? Do they have money for college themselves? And I help you out if you're applying for the financial aid form to get kids money for college. We help you with that. And we offer more than just preparing income tax returns. And I actually, when I get phone calls from people that say, how much is it to do my tax return? I tell them, I don't just do your tax return. It's more than that to me, because it's more, that's something that you can use TurboTax and other tax software. You can go online and do it yourself. And if that's your goal, is to do it as cheap as possible, that's fine. I have no problems with that, and I fully understand there's people like that. However, I want to enable you to have as much money in your pocket and to reach goals, and sometimes goals that you don't even realize that you have, because I ask you questions. And so it's really a question and answer period for me to prepare someone's tax return.
Well, and I'm sure that varies with individuals and businesses. Now, say somebody comes in and they are really financially strapped. How do you help them turn that around?
Well, what I do is I tell them I'm a resource. The hardest thing for anybody to do is to do this on their own. You can't fix your car on your own. You can't see a doctor on your own. The last time I've seen not many people go and have heart surgery and don't have a doctor perform it for them. So I'm a resource for people, and the thing is I need to make money, don't get me wrong. But I want people to understand I work with you so that you're able to make money for yourself. If I were to say, Janet, I can save you and your husband $800 on your tax return, would you be willing to pay me $150 to do your taxes?
Absolutely.
I think that would be an answer, exactly. You know, and now, a lot of times I can't save you money every single year, but we can set things in place. And I'm not one of these guys that goes and says, well, remember last year by doing this year you're saving this so I can increase my fees. I want my clients to have a long-term relationship with me. I'm in this for the long haul. Very seldom, if someone has a quick 2-second phone call, do I charge them for it. And the reason I don't charge them, I know most CPA firms do, and that's how I can make additional money. But I also want my clients to call me in July, in August, in October. Come December, should I pay my property taxes before the end of the year? Do I have other expenses I want to make before the end of the year? And we do that with businesses as well. We meet with our businesses at a minimum on a quarterly basis. A lot of them we still meet on a monthly basis with. And not only do we file their payroll taxes, their sales tax, and those regulations that they need to follow, but we're also meeting with them and saying, where is your business going? What do you see 6 months, a year out in your industry? How can you be better suited to grow your business? And most times, a lot of business owners, I ask them, are you growing your business or are you working your business? And it's two totally different things.
Well, and I'm sure it's easier to deal with a problem if you get a call from that client in July rather than February of the next year and you got 2 months to file taxes.
Yes. If someone would say their company shuts down their retirement plan and they send out an $800 check to them from the retirement plan with no taxes taking out, and it's July. Well, you do have time to go and roll that into an IRA account. But if you come to me in February, the timeline is passed for you to avoid that. Now you're going to be subject to income taxes and penalties on that $800, and you don't have $800. Yes, you did get a check, but your refund would be smaller if you end up having to pay those taxes on the back end. So yes, it's a matter of wanting to be able to call someone and be able to know that it's not going to cost you $50 for a 5-second phone call.
That's a big plus, I'm sure, because anybody who's in business knows that there are questions that come up during the year. You know, sometimes businesses find out they have to spend a lot of money all of a sudden to replace equipment or whatever, and you know, how are we going to deal with all of that? So it's valuable to have a person to come to that you can trust and rely on. So
I agree.
Thompson Company is located at 219 South Main Street, and Gary, you can be reached at
920-674-5850.
Gary, I want to thank you for chatting with me today, and that concludes this segment, and we will be back after these announcements.
For those looking to move their business to a quiet and beautiful location in the Jefferson County area, the Jefferson Area Business Center is perfect for you.
When someone moves into the business center, we tell them right away they're part of our family. We tell them that they have a new ally in business.
You will immediately appreciate the aesthetic nature of the building by the new entrance on Wisconsin Drive. But once inside, you will see and feel concern for livable working space. With resourceful day lighting, atrium area, efficient fan system, and choice of building material. There is even more that does not meet the eye. R62 insulation rating in all ceilings, geothermal cooling, high efficiency heating and cooling equipment, 99 photovoltaic panels mounted on the roof, state-of-the-art restroom fixtures to minimize water usage, recycled water for atrium plants, high-quality materials to reduce the cost of maintenance.
We're reusing the historic value of our building A lot of it was built in the 50s and 60s, and it was built with great craftsmanship. The walls are over a foot thick, made out of beautiful cream color brick, and we're going to retain all that because in reality it's a resource that really shouldn't be thrown away or destroyed.
All framed in a relaxing, imaginative, playful, and endearing environment with a surprise around every motion sensor lighted corner. In addition, office and shipping assistance and load-in and load-out services can be provided for you. The Jefferson Area Business Center provides ample storage throughout the building. They've also teamed up with a storage facility in Helenville to offer multiple storage solutions. With all the sustainable applications, the Jefferson Area Business Center is able to offer the most value for the least cost in Jefferson County, Wisconsin.
Not only are we located at the crossroads of Highway 18 and Highway 26, but we're almost equal distance between Milwaukee and Madison, the two largest economic hubs in our state.
Whether starting a new business or looking to move a business, let the Jefferson Area Business Center help you.
The Jefferson Area Business Center, a place for your business to succeed.
Welcome back to Chamber Chat. For our final segment today, we have Dr. Bill Lust of the Chiropractic Care Center in Jefferson. Welcome, Dr. Bill.
Thank you, Janet.
Dr. Bill, you have been in Jefferson for about 4 years.
Yeah.
Where did you attend school?
Chiropractic school in Palmer, College Chiropractic in Iowa, Davenport, Iowa. It's the first school in the whole world where chiropractic was invented. I went to undergrad in UW La Crosse, and I'm originally from the Madison area, Middleton.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long is the training, your schooling to become a chiropractor?
The schooling itself is 10 trimesters. People can get through it in as little as 3.5 years, or they can take as long as 5 years. I took just about 4 years to get through it. And you do have to have an undergraduate degree, a 4-year graduate degree before you can apply for entrance into school. So that's my lacrosse time.
So basically you have four years after college to...
Yes, after college.
Yeah.
So it's like eight years total.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a commitment too?
It's a long time, yeah.
It is. Dr. Bill, I hear more children are being seen by chiropractors for various reasons, a lot because of the sports that they are in. Can you give us a little more information on that?
Certainly. Kids respond the best to chiropractic, I feel, because they have the least amount of exposure to the world yet. So when you can start taking interference off of their nervous system, they heal much quicker, much better, even for things most people wouldn't think of, like ear infections, asthma, those types of things. So I really love working with kids because they are such quick healers when you get to the source of their problem.
Can you give us some examples of something that you deal with that? I mean, if they're having headaches or...
Oh, certainly. No, yeah.
Different
one
symptoms?
example, like bedwetting, especially when kids get a little older as well. A lot of times it can be lower back interference on those nerves that go to control those types of things. That's simply that's the one problem. And kids who develop, they don't go over to friends' houses because they don't know if they're having control issues, and the parents get really frustrated with it, and the kid doesn't, he's not happy that there's, he's not like the regular kids, and sometimes just a few adjustments can right something that had been controlling a family essentially for long periods of time. And just by removing that interference in the lower back, they regain control, they regain new confidence. It's a whole new life for them. And I mean, you can go down the list. I've helped kids get off of allergy medicines because of upper back and lower neck interference. Asthma, your mid-back affects the lungs greatly. So numbers of childhood symptoms that people normally think are unavoidable can be helped greatly with chiropractic.
Do you offer any specials for new patients when you're seeing them for the first time?
Well, we offer a complimentary consultation and a real brief exam to anyone who's interested in seeing our clinic, learning more about what chiropractic can offer, meeting us individually as staff and as the chiropractor, just to kind of take the mystery away or to let people feel out if it's a good fit or not. Otherwise, we do lots of community outreach throughout the year. We're doing a food drive right now, summer food drive for the Jefferson Food Pantry, and people bring in 10 non-perishables can get their full first day workup, which includes my exam and my x-ray workup and my report for $39. So it's a great way to give back to the community, help people in need, and also get a spinal evaluation where a lot of people never have had a spinal evaluation by a chiropractor before and don't know what they should be looking for. We also do work with Christmas neighbors during Christmas time to collect presents for needy families, and we also offer discounts for first day services when you bring in gifts for the people in that Christmas neighbors program. And yeah, we're working with PADA, People Against Domestic Abuse. We do fundraisers for them. So there's a lot of opportunities throughout the year, maybe 4 or 5 different drives that we'll do that will offer some sort of discounted first day service, so it's a little easier to at least know where you stand.
Well, and I know because you send me those flyers to send out to the membership and pass along, so everybody hears about it, what's going on, along with articles in the paper and that you're participating in different things. So. Tell us what your hours are.
Well, we're there 6 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're there from 9 to 12 and 2 to 6 o'clock. Tuesdays, we are open in the mornings. We're there from 10 to 2 in the afternoon. I have a senior center class in the morning on that Tuesday. And then Thursdays, we do late hours. We're there from 3 to 7 at night for people who don't get home, well past 6 o'clock. People take advantage of that. And this morning I worked from 9 to 11, so we have Saturday morning hours too. So it's 6 days a week. It's not full days, but I'm in the office a lot.
Well, and you have to have kind of flexible hours, like you said. If people are working out of town, they maybe don't get back to town till 5:30. So
it's a big deal.
You have to accommodate that too. You're seeing the doctor's offices change their hours a little bit more, that they have more evening hours, go into the evening hours a little bit too.
Yeah, you have to.
The clinic is located at 109 East Milwaukee Street. Dr. Bill can be reached at?
920-674-6627.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Bill, for chatting with me. And that concludes our segments for today. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned.